This is the style of stool that we've developed now. It's a nice, very generous and true duet stool, and I'd like to provide a duet stool even for young children. Sometimes someone might want to sit beside them and with their practice or whatever. And of course, if there are more children in the family, you know, they can grow up to play duets. But plenty of storage room there. You can almost hop in there, and properly made. All the joints are properly dowelled and everything. So it's important to have a stool that's the right height, a genuine piano stool, and we upholster them accordingly. And that puts you at the right posture to play. Because, as I may have mentioned, even small children of 7 and 8 need to sit on the correct height stool. That's because they're taking over a lifetime of playing and practicing tactile memory, as we call it, as to where they are in relation to the piano. And even if their little legs swing and can't reach the pedals, well, the teachers know all about that process. And bit by bit, they grow into the pedals. But we don't give them a stool where they can reach the pedals to start with, because they're too low and they're sort of begging at the piano, and it just doesn't create a good posture. So now to this instrument, a lot of you now will just recognise a lot about this piano before I even speak about it. And one of the most important things, Stuttgart. This is an instrument built in the same neighbourhood as the great pianos of Lipp, for example. They had access to all the same lovely timbers and craftsmen, and so you'll often see an instrument that looks for all the world like a Richard Lipp. When you open up the case, oh, it's another name. This one is Schilling, Frederick Schilling, and we see them rarely, but they are always a beautiful instrument to work on and to present when they're finished. So this is Schilling, and I'll just give you a little glimpse inside. And I'm always proud of our work, and for the sake of another couple of minutes of showing people, it's nice to just explain how we go through the instruments. This instrument, once again, completely restrung, repinned, new hammers and dampers, tapes, all the bushings and bearings done. And an important thing too is the graphiting. That's the lubrication that's used in pianos. It goes on in a couple of different forms, in some parts of the instrument in a powder form. But generally speaking, when we're working on the action, we've got all the parts displayed on our benches. We go through recapping the little working surfaces with graphite in a paint form. That evaporates very quickly, and then we're able to, with a soft buff, go back and just buff those friction areas and make them almost friction-free again. So remember, graphiting of an instrument is always something to question people about. Has this piano been cleaned and graphited? And it's something that pianos need doing. Oh, there's a lot of so-called new pianos now that are crying out for re-graphiting, and service people will from time to time remind customers that, you know, next time perhaps we'll take the action away, clean it, re-graphite it. Simple work, can't really be done in the home because it can be a bit messy with the liquid graphite, but important to keep your piano lubricated. Not every 6 months like a car, but perhaps every 10 years. It's something to think about. Grand pianos and uprights alike, graphiting. Now to the Schilling. Like most beautiful instruments of this nature, with the extended end and the longer strings, also very beautiful to play softly. That's playing softly is a good test of a piano. It means everything's re-graphited, so you don't have difference in touch. and the instrument and all this bushing's good, and the hammers are in lovely order. So playing softly. And then back to the full tone. So the full range of expression from a typical, beautiful German piano. So this is the Schilling, restored to last a lifetime, and that's reflected in our guarantee. We have no time limit on our guarantees. I may have mentioned it in the past, but it's nice to go over that. So Schilling from Stuttgart, beautiful. I'll just quickly put it back together, and a lovely grain and cabinet on this instrument, to be sure. Here comes the top door, and you'll see what I was chatting about before, about the Wertheim taking a planar approach to their instruments. Well, this instrument, even though it was built about the same time, still has that beautiful Gothic, or we would call Western, Victorian approach to finishing the cabinet. They couldn't help themselves. And a masterpiece from top to toe.